time bomb ticking.
If you feed the beast, that beast will destroy you.
We didn't take a broad enough view of our responsibility, and that was a big mistake. And it was my mistake, and I'm sorry.
They have set up social media so that you become the product. You become the product. Wallahi, this is exactly why they set it up. Sean Parker, he was the former Facebook president. What does he say about social media? He says,
it's a social validation feedback loop that it's like it's exactly the kind of thing that a hacker like myself would come up with, because you're exploiting a vulnerability in human psychology.
A social validation feedback loop means when you become a product on social media and then you start to place a currency on yourself. How much are you worth? That makes you come back again and again and again and more and more and more, because now it's personal, it's about you. What are you worth? It makes you falsely think that social media gives you the value of who you are.
The short-term dopamine-driven feedback loops that we have created are destroying how society works. No civil discourse, no cooperation, misinformation, mistruth. And it's not an American problem. This is not about Russian ads. This is a global problem. So we are in a really bad state of affairs right now, in my opinion. It is eroding the core foundations of how people behave by and between each other. I think in the back, deep recesses of our minds, we kind of knew something bad could happen. We have created tools that are ripping apart the social fabric of how society works. That is truly where we are. And I would encourage all of you, as the future leaders of the world, to really internalize how important this is. If you feed the beast, that beast will destroy you.
It's a mechanical approach to manipulating people.
We know, the science is clear, we know. And we did it anyway. There's a big time bomb ticking.
And do you know how precious time is? Allah Azza wa Jal, He takes an oath in the Quran of time. Allah says, Wal Asr, by time. And Allah only takes an oath of something which is of a great magnificent, to show us the importance of that thing. Wal Asr, by time. Innal insana lafi khusr, verily a man is in a state of loss. And the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam قال لا تزول قدم عبد يوم القيامة حتى تسأل عن أربع. A person's feet will not move on the day of judgment until he is questioned about four things. عن عمره فيما أفناه, about his life. How did he spend his life? What did he do with the time Allah Azza wa Jal gave him?
Society has been gradually darkened by this scheme in which everyone is under surveillance all the time, and everyone is under this mild version of behavior modification all the time. It's made people jittery and cranky. It's made teens especially depressed, which can be quite severe.
So when significant stress starts to show up in their lives, they're not turning to a person, they're turning to a device, they're turning to social media, they're turning to these things which offer temporary relief. We know, the science is clear, we know that people who spend more time on Facebook suffer higher rates of depression than people who spend less time on Facebook.
Isolation. Your child is spending more time on social media instead of spending that time with his parents, with his siblings. Before these technologies came, a child used to spend his time, his free time in board games, spending his time with his family, with his parents and his siblings. But after these technologies, now a child is spending more time with the social media. He's spending more time on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter. وَصَاحِبْهُمَا فِي الدُّنْيَا مَعْرُوفًا. And be in the company of your parents. Teach your children. Spend quality time with your children, and tomorrow your children, they will spend time with you. The child starts to compare now with other people on social media. That so-and-so person, my friend on social media, he's got iPhone 6 I too want to own iPhone 6. He has iPhone 7, I too want to own iPhone 7. He's comparing with the luxuries of this world. And my dear brothers and my sisters, it is not worth to compare yourself with the luxuries of this world.
Most famous scientists, futurists, genetic engineers, and philosophers from around the world gather in Lincoln Center, or GF 2045, to discuss about the new strategy for human evolution. And strangely, some of the members of this movement are spiritual leaders, which means they do not only work on altering the physical aspect of human being, but also the spiritual aspect. Shortly, they even work on people's belief and behavior. That's why they talk about the genotype and phenotype modification. Genotype is a set of inherited genes which contains the physical characteristics of an individual, and the phenotype is the term used for the composite observable traits and behaviors of an individual. So by modification of these two, they do not only change mankind's physiology, but they also change their behavior, changing the way they talk, the way they walk, the way they react to their environment, and so on. So they are gathering and discussing about alteration of human race, not only in Lincoln Center, but in all of the leading universities like Oxford, Stanford, and others.